This is one of those movies that makes me look at my car and go like, yeah, my car sucks. She's got a dented headlight, she's in desperate need of a car wash. Yeah, not pretty. F1. So F1 is directed by Joseph Kosinski, the director of Top Gun Maverick and Tron Legacy, and stars Brad Pitt as Sonny Hayes, a professional race car driver who's kind of washed out from Formula 1 racing anyway. He's been doing some racing since then though, but he's not in the best place in his life when he's approached by his friend Ruben with an opportunity. Come race Formula 1 for Apex GP, cause we got a rookie named Joshua Pierce who's got something to him. So come join our Apex GP team, we'll make a name for ourselves in Formula 1 racing. And yeah, this movie was pretty cool. I mean, it has all the building blocks of a good movie, right? Good cast, good director, good subject matter. This movie's got a head on its shoulders. Although I will say, Brad Pitt as Sonny Hayes, for most of the movie, I will call him one thing: douchebag. I mean, both he and Joshua Pierce are their own kind of douchebags, but Sonny Hayes I found particularly unlikable for a good chunk of the movie. Cause he's hot-headed, he's full of himself, he doesn't take orders, he thinks he knows what's best, but not like in a Lightning McQueen kind of way. I mean, sure, he's got some quips.
When was the last time you won a race?
Sunday, Daytona.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Formula 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then same as you.
But his relationship with Joshua Pierce, they clash with each other quite a lot. Which then getting to Joshua Pierce, played by Damson Idris, he's a hothead as well, who also thinks he knows what's best, but in that rookie kind of way. But just to me, he wasn't as unlikable as Sonny Hayes was. He seemed to have more of a head on his shoulders. There's a point in the movie where he says, I climbed a mountain to get to where I am. And I was like, yeah man, holy shit. I feel that, and Sonny Hayes is kind of ruining some things for you. Cause they're supposed to be a team, so the fact that they're arguing a lot is just, it's not good for them. And it's not good for their crew either. The team is owned by Ruben Cervantes, who's played by Javier Bardem, and of course he's great. He is an Oscar-winning actor after all. Cause he's taking a risk on Sonny Hayes and Joshua Pierce. This team of his, they've never really placed in Formula 1 before, so you can tell when he's watching the races from the skybox, he's like, come on, man. Just work together and do something good for once. But I also want to give big props to Carrie Condon in this movie. Her character, Kate, is the technical director of the team, who ends up forming a romance with Sonny Hayes. And their scenes together, I honestly thought were among the best in the movie, dialogue-wise anyway. I loved her in this movie, because you can tell this character also worked hard to get to where she is, and she doesn't take any shit. She prefers the straight talk. She doesn't beat around the bush. She says what she wants. There's a scene where she verbally puts Sonny Hayes in his place, and I was like, yeah, that was awesome. So shout out to her. Now this movie, I mean, let's be honest, did anyone think this was gonna be bad? Like I said, it's got a good foundation, good cast, good director. When you got Joseph Kosinski in the proverbial driver's seat, you know you're in for some intensity. With Top Gun Maverick and Tron Legacy, both those movies as different as they are, which is just a showcase for Kosinski's range, but they both have scenes where you're just locked into the action because they're all shot really well, the sound design is peak, and they're easy enough to follow. And all that rings true here in F1, the racing scenes. Yeah, man. They're perfectly intense. It's nothing I haven't really seen before. I mean, just a couple years ago in Gran Turismo, I saw the same thing. And I'll say, personally, I enjoyed Gran Turismo more than F1 here. But that's just me, though. I mean, I guess it's not really fair to compare the two, but they're both racing movies, so there it is. At least I'm not comparing this to Cars or something. But yeah, the racing scenes in this movie, they are awesome. Because it's not just about the racing itself, it's about the personalities and what the drivers are thinking. Whether it's Sonny Hayes or Joshua Pierce or both, usually both. Again, they're supposed to be looking out for each other, working as a team, but since they don't really like each other, it's not gonna work out that way, at first anyway. That does come through in the racing, because you hear them talking on their comms to the pit team and everyone else on the crew. Sonny will ignore what someone tells him to do, and they'll be like, damn it, come on, this jackass! And they'll throw off their headset or something. It's classic good racing shit. I mean, I'm no racing expert, I don't watch NASCAR or F1 racing. I don't know the terminology or jargon, I usually just don't care for the stuff. Which is why I'm not really going into detail on the racing, because I don't know, okay? I don't know what a piston is. Just being real with you. Oh, well, okay, babe just told me what a piston is, so now I know. Thanks, babe, love you. And of course, this movie's shot almost entirely in IMAX. It's not true IMAX, I thought it was gonna be. For some reason, I don't remember. I thought it was gonna be 143:1, but it's not. But it's still 190:1, and it looks damn good. It's funny, like, the very first shot in the movie, I think it was letterboxed, like widescreen aspect ratio, and then the entire rest of the movie was all IMAX. It was weird. I don't know, maybe I missaw it or something. Getting to the story though, first off, I'll say I like how our main characters, Sonny and Joshua, they do have emotional arcs, and they actually do go from unlikable people to likable, including Sonny Hayes. I was like, alright, by the end of the movie, I am in fact rooting for you. Cause I'll be honest, I wasn't at first. I was like, can this douchebag, I don't know, just Not win, because he was unlikable. Joshua, like I said, not as much. But no, this is their story. Kind of like how Top Gun Maverick is not just about the jets and the aerial combat, it's about the characters as well. Same here in F1, the movie. Although in that, the story, I will say, is a bit predictable as well. There was one race, there are actually a lot of racing scenes in this movie, but one in particular, I was like, this is how it's gonna end, and I was right. That and the final race, I knew how that was gonna end too. So I will say the story is a bit, well, formulaic. Doesn't make this movie a bad one, I'm just saying. You know what else was awesome in this movie though? The music. The score was written by none other than Hans Zimmer. Haven't heard from that guy in a while. But I could definitely tell, like, a lot of elements in the score, I was like, yeah, that's Hans Zimmer all right. Couple of scenes I was like, yeah, that sounds like it's from the Dark Knight cutting room floor. Again, not a bad thing. I love the Dark Knight score, but you know, sounded a lot like it. And there is actually a main theme I heard in the score. There was a motif I heard, I was like, yeah, I'd heard that a few times by now. More than I could say for Megan. I can say that. And the needle drops as well. This movie's got a lot of needle drops. Makes for a great soundtrack, some good beats in there. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna give this soundtrack a listen or two. Couple of songs I Shazammed afterwards because they were catchy. Good stuff. So in the end, F1 is a good time. It's intense, it's got great racing scenes, a really good script. Again, this is kind of the easiest review ever because I'm pretty sure no one thought this movie was gonna be bad. If you're into these kind of movies, you're gonna like this movie. If not, then you won't. It's as simple as that. But I personally don't know how anyone could walk out of this movie and be like, that sucked. This movie's a sure thing. Just if only it were a little less predictable, that would have been nice. But for F1, I will say, go see this movie while it's in theaters. I feel like I've been giving that rating out a lot lately, but to be fair, that is my most popular rating, so there is that. So F1, have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts on it? And here's a good question, what's your favorite Brad Pitt movie of all time? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's back to getting inundated with Five Nights at Freddy's lore. Babe and I have been watching Markiplier's Five Nights at Freddy's videos over the past week or so I've been learning a lot. All in preparation for what's to come, I guess. Peace!